Okay, so hello guys, welcome back to another video. And as you all know that I'm trying to make this branch review type of videos right now, so I won't be telling again कि मैं क्या कर रहा हूँ. And in today's video, I will be reviewing the B Chemical branch at BITS Pilani. I have two very special guests on my channel. So the two special guests are Arya Agarwal and Ayush Agarwal. Yes, brothers and sisters, and very much welcome to my channel. So I guess we can start with the very first question. Can you guys tell us a little bit about yourselves?
So hi everyone, this is Arya Agarwal. I am from the 2017 batch and I am currently pursuing my degrees in biological sciences and chemical engineering. So currently this is my 5th year and as a part of the final year or the graduation requirements, I'll be completing my thesis at EPFL Switzerland. So looking forward to it.
Hello everyone, it's a pleasure being here. My name is Ayush and I am from 2011 batch. So I did my bachelor's in chemical engineering from BITS Pilani Goa campus in the year 2011 to 2015. And Arya is my sister.
So I guess let's jump to the next question, and that would be like, what is this chemical engineering like at BITS Pilani? I mean the curriculum, maybe a little bit about the different subjects that one can expect in chemical engineering.
The most important courses in chemical engineering, in my opinion, are the following: the heat transfer, the mass transfer or separation process as it is known these days. Then comes the fluid mechanics. Then comes the reaction engineering, the chemical process calculations. So once you know these 5 subjects, you can do pretty much anything at a bachelor level in chemical engineering. The other best part about chemical engineering at BITS is that when you combine all these 5 courses, you have this course called transport phenomena, where you have everything: heat transfer, mass transfer, fluid mechanics, and even reaction engineering all together, along with the calculations, of course. But every other university in India, you say IITs or NITs, everywhere, or almost everywhere, to be more factually correct, transport phenomena is one of the core courses and a mandatory courses. But at BITS, like everything else, you have the flexibility. So transport phenomena is in the list of core chemical engineering courses, elective. You choose it whenever you feel you are ready. So if you feel you are not ready, you have option of not taking it as well. So this is what I love about chemical engineering. It is a really nice balance of all the different courses, and it gives you a flavor of different calculations. Like in 3rd year, you have this course called Process Design Principle, where one entire semester is focused on learning about heuristics, like the basic thumb rules used in chemical engineering industry, like what should be the pipe size or what should be the flow rate or the capacity of the pump and all these things. And then the next semester, it's called PDP2. You spent on doing the cost calculations. Chemical engineering is one only field of engineering where you have to take into account all the 5 basic sciences: physics, chemistry, mathematics, biology, and even economics. So at BITS Pilani, the courses cover everything.
What are the different opportunities that one can expect when they are studying BE Chemical at BITS Pilani? Yeah.
I mean, if we talk about the opportunities at BITS in particular, I would say it doesn't matter which branch you take at BITS. It's truly magic, as they say. So once you are at BITS, becoming an engineer is not the only option that you have. Once you're at BITS, you have the chance of becoming an entrepreneur, a politician, an artist, an actor, a writer, a photographer, you name it. But let's not forget engineering, for which you join BITS. So there are quite nice opportunities, especially with professors. There are quite a lot of projects that are funded by the government or the industry. And as students, you have the opportunity of working on them. And there are projects from Pollution Control Board, from Department of Science and Technology, DST, from industries. The best part is, while being a student at BITS, you get to solve and work on real problems without being in the industry, in the lab itself. This is the best place to be in, because you learn how to take the technologies from lab to industry. If I have to make a very loose statement, I can say that all the world's problem has been already solved in the lab. But once you take it to the industry, once you try to scale it up, you face all the challenges, and then most of the things fall flat on their face. But at BITS, especially in chemical engineering, I can say my professors have quite good contacts, and they are well known across the industry, and they have quite a lot of projects going on. So that's where you learn the most.
So the next question would be, how do someone studying in class 11 and 12, how can they judge, like, is chemical the right branch for me or not?
It is practically impossible for a 16, 17-year-old kid to know what they really want. Many of you may say that, oh, I want computer science because I love coding. I have nothing against computer science, but in 2020, each and every one of us is expected to know programming. So much advancement in the technology, in the sensors, we are generating data at an unprecedented rate. So domain knowledge becomes important. If you are just a coding guy, soon or maybe in the upcoming time, you may be reduced to someone who is just there for doing the mundane job, not the special ones.
Right.
So how to know if you like chemical engineering or not? Talk to people who are real engineers. Nowadays, everyone is on social media. All of you have LinkedIn or Twitters or Facebook. Find out people who have graduated from the universities and talk to them. Because from my experience, I have been on the same boat a few years ago. When you are in a university, you will always say good things about it. When you are studying a particular course or branch, you will always say good things about it. But people who have just graduated, people who are in the real world, they can give you a much more accurate and unbiased view about what it is. I mean, it's not just about computer science. Talk to people about who have taken the dual degree, see what they're doing. Talk to people who are pursuing what they studied. Talk to people who are pursuing what they did not study. And remember, everyone follows a different path. You cannot say that, oh, I want to be like this person. And no, it can never be. I mean, Arya studied kind of similar things, but then she's doing way different things from me. And so you just cannot say that this is the right path or this is the only path. There are no right or wrong paths, but there can be good and uncomfortable paths. I won't call a bad path.
You know, my way to look at things, person I am, like I approach professors and then know more about research and stuff. So that is why I am currently following the path of research. There are people in my batch itself, like pursuing biology and chemical, and they are interested in neither of the subjects. So it's not a question of just for 11th or 12th grader, but it also applies at, you know, a final year stage as well, or even after you graduate. Like, a person's mind can change whenever he or she comes across something new, right? So it's all on you whether you want to be stagnant or whether you want to be dynamic, or how you want to approach that particular subject and make something out of it for yourself. You know, the key way to succeed is to explore as many things as you can. Because this is one thing, one of my seniors said that, you know, when you're an undergraduate, you have the privilege card to make mistakes. Make as many mistakes as you can, because that is only how you will actually learn things and explore, and you'll decide for yourself that what do you actually want to pursue in life. Role models are fine, they are there to inspire you, but you cannot be exactly like them.
Are there any sort of common misconceptions about chemical engineering in general that people have?
Placements.
You have to love chemistry to like chemical engineering.
You have to keep working in a plant or a cement factory, and that is what your life is all about. Whereas your CSIT friends are chilling in an air-conditioned room and having bigger packages than you.
There is no money in working as a chemical engineer. Yes, it's a fact that the starting salary of a chemical engineer who has a core job is lower than their peers who go for an IT or a consulting job. There is a reason behind that. What you learn during your bachelor's, during your courses is mainly theoretical, and industry is completely different game. The scale is different, the risks are different. So when you are in a core company, And this is true not just for chemical, but for all the core branches: chemical, mechanical, civil, electrical, instrumentation. You cannot afford to make mistakes at plant because lives are at stake. One mistake can cause you a loss of 500 tons of material plus few tens of lives. Or if you're working at some specialty chemical or dangerous chemical plants, thousands of life. So the company is actually investing in you for first 2 or 3 years so that they can start getting benefit out of you. So it's more like an extended school you have when you go to an industry, and they have this program called GET, Graduate Engineer Trainee. So you are being trained to work. Whereas in consultancy or in IT, okay, mistakes can be risky, but okay, if there is an error in your code or in your calculation, there are people at place to like do the testing, or your team can like find it out. Or what's the worst thing can happen? Your code will not execute properly. Security concerns are there, but there is a infrastructure in place to make that happen. But you can be productive right from day one. But this is not true in the core industries. You have to stay there. It's a long-term game. And if I tell you about the life in plant, okay, your salary is slightly on the lower end, but you don't have to worry about your transportation. Whereas mostly in plants, you live in the quarters, you have a really good work-life balance, and you can meet people after your shift is over. You have all the time. Food is subsidized, and so basically the company is taking care of everything, and on top of that, they're giving you money. So everything comes with a price. So, and at the end of the day, you are getting almost the same benefits. So it's up to you where you place your money. Different people have different priorities, different choices. So this is something that people see in the short term and move away from core engineering. If you look at the big picture, the pay is equivalent. I won't call it same, but you can draw parallels to it, and things will start improving.
It's actually easier for you to switch your job streams or career streams. Like you can definitely go into coding or consultancy if you do not like chemical engineering, but that's not the case if you are into IT. So and you cannot really expect a person in IT to suddenly overnight jump into chemical engineering, right?
Right.
So I guess that is a privilege, I would say, chemical engineering has to offer.
All of you must be studying this course called thermodynamics as part of physics and chemistry in your +2. So you must be aware of this term called source and sink. So I personally like to call IT as a sink. It accepts anyone and everyone. So you don't have to be a computer scientist to like land a job at Google, for example. At BITS, Google is a dream slot company, and they don't have any, at least during my time, they didn't have any CG cutoff or branch cutoff. Anyone and everyone who could clear their test was welcome to the interview.
As both of you have pointed out that not being so short-sighted about just the money side of things, and rather also like look at life from a broader perspective. So that was really nice. So I guess we can come to the next question, and probably the last question. Do you think that when you're investing in BITS, right, so it is pretty expensive, like around 20 to 25 lakhs. So is that really worth it, like spending that sort of money and studying in BITS, or do you think like there can be better alternatives?
I'm going to say something really controversial now. Okay. You don't really need a college degree to be successful in life. And this I'm saying you while I'm pursuing my own PhD. This is the third university I'm attending. Hear me out. When you join a university, think of it as an expensive membership to a club.
Right.
Because your alumni network can make it or break it for you. And the BITS alumni network is fantastic. If you are privileged enough, make use of that privilege. because these days with the increasing cost, I am very sorry to say, but education is a privilege. So if you are privileged enough, make sure you use that privilege. And if you are not privileged enough, or if you have not been blessed with enough privilege, make sure that you get in, and make sure that you get that same privilege, and your kids that get that same privilege that you did not get. Getting into a good university is not enough. What you do there is what defines you. If you are meant to do good, you will do good anywhere. But if you can get into a good university, get in. Coming to the money part, yes, BITS is expensive. At least today, it is out of reach of quite a lot of people, and people are kind of looking at other options or settling for the second best because they think that they cannot afford it. And to some extent, it's true. But BITS offers quite a lot of scholarships. I graduated in 2015, and through these 5-6 years, I can see how blessed and privileged I was, and the kind of help and support and mentoring and counseling and everything that I received from my own alumni network. So it's worth it, I would say.
Yeah, so that was Ayush and Arya. I mean, really thankful to them for bringing out some time for me. And yeah, so if you guys have any more doubts, let me know in the comment section below. Take care, all the best. Bye.